Life ultimately means taking the responsibility to find the right answer to its problems and to fulfill the tasks that it constantly sets for each individual. Viktor Frankl. During COVID in 2019, a poll in Great Britain showed that 9 in 10 people between the ages of 16 and 29 reported that they felt that their lives were meaningless. After being in a tough situation for a very long time, we are likely to feel hopeless and we may feel like our lives are meaningless. But here is a little known thing that you can do about this. When tough situations befall us, we normally feel like staying in bed and we feel that life sucks. But the fact is that a lot of our apathy comes from us not receiving positive feedback in life. We normally feel motivated and have a lot of energy when we feel that we are moving forward in life. So positive feedback makes us feel good and gives us hope and motivation to keep going further. But how can we get positive feedback? It is through action. When we don't act, we normally get stuck in this loop. The loop is we don't take action, so we don't get positive feedback. And that leads us to feeling that we're not progressing in life. And that makes us feel sad and feel like our lives are meaningless. And that makes us not take action again. But sometimes taking action is not enough, because even when we take action, we may fall in this similar loop. So we could take action, then we fail in every attempt. And since we don't have positive feedback from that failure, then we're going to feel that we're not progressing, and that leads to sadness and a feeling of meaninglessness, which also makes us not take action, and then we fall back into the first loop. So I like to attack these loops in the sadness and meaningless area or the take action area. So in life, we either have to take action, or if we don't, let us refer to this quote from the prisoners in the concentration camps of World War. In a book by Viktor Frankl, who was one of the prisoners in the concentration camps, he noted that the prisoners who lost faith in the future were doomed, and they started to mentally and physically decay. There was this story of a prisoner who gave up hope when the war could not end. To the outside, it looked like he had died of typhus, but Viktor Frankl knew that this man had died of disappointment when his inner voice told him that the war would end by a certain date, and it actually did not end. Viktor Frankl understood that what the prisoners needed was to change their attitudes towards life. And he quoted it beautifully by saying, "We had to learn ourselves, and furthermore, we had to teach the despairing men that it did not really matter what we expected from life, but rather what life expected from us." So when we are in a tough situation, we should always ask ourselves, what does life expect from me? And finally, we have to try harder. We have to stop bullshitting ourselves and get serious about our lives. The Stoic philosopher Seneca used to always tell his students, do you know why we normal people do not have the power to attain these Stoic ideals? It is because we refuse to believe in our power. But there is also something else that plays a part. We are also in love with our vices. We normally prefer to uphold our vices and prefer to make excuses for them rather than shake them off. We humans have been endowed with sufficient strength by nature. If only we used this strength, if only we concentrated our powers and roused them all to help us, or at least not to hinder us. And he said that normally we use the excuse of inability. But if we really look deep into our hearts, the true reason is unwillingness. If you enjoyed this video, this will be the perfect video to watch next. Thank you.